Here we are with round one. Our opponent has chosen to play first. Just an okay hand, but on the draw, we need that third land, but on the draw, I think we're just going to keep this. Have a Jeskai Sage to at least provide some stability, and then we have Weave Fate when we get to 4 mana. Generate some card advantage. Got our third land right on schedule, so that's good. We get a chance to see how Reality Shift plays. Although, I guess there's some corner cases where you play this on your own creature, but the idea here is basically just to take out some big, hard to deal with. So I can attack here, assume my opponent's not going to do anything in that case. Or I can just play a Temur Banner and attack with my 2-drop, which I think will be a better play. I don't think my opponent blocks if I just attack. Don't really have a great way, so that we passed the Cloud Form, right? I think we passed it. It was either our first pick or second pick. I hope it's not what I took the, I don't think I took a Sandstep Outcast over it. But it is a very good card. It's going to be annoying to deal with, especially if he does anything else with it. So we're going Skull Hunting. I think I just discard Force Away. It's the only card in my hand that's not really has the least value, I would say. So here I either Weave Fate, take 4 on the Crackback, or I play Frostwalker. I'm just going to play Frostwalker for now. We may get a target for Reality Shift, you never know. So we got to think about whether we're going to play Naturalize in game 2. It still leaves him with the 2/2, but it loses flying and hexproof. That takes out a lot of the value, and a lot of times that means he just attacks it into something that eats it. So I think Naturalize probably is coming in for us. See if our opponent has some kind of tempo play here. Throttle, sure. I really have no problem trading this for a Skull Hunter. It's just a 2-drop. Opponent is only ahead by 3 life. Unfortunate that I mean, that could have been worse, I guess. Vault Breaker is coming back to our hand, so it probably wasn't the best use of mana to dash it out. I did not really think that through. I think I was just trying to overload on attackers because our opponent didn't seem to have that much of a plan. So Surveyor has no targets. We're just going to attack and plan on Weave Fate here. We can definitely draw to some things that can help us outrace the Cloud Form, especially a long shot squad. Really, once our opponent does play really anything at all, even Surveyor is not a problem. Sure, so we can bounce that. And then we'll have a blocker. I think we're ahead here, so I'm just trying to pump the brakes a little bit. I don't want to get too aggressive and say hardcast Snowhorn Rider that turn, because it leaves us open to tempo plays where he kind of cracks back for 4, like he casts Wills and Naga or something. Opponent going for the Bitter Revelation morph plan here. This turn, good chance that I morph Mystic and leave up Awakened Bear Reality Shift, and then I consider unmorphing Mystic. Huh. See what this is. If it's just a Sagu Archer, it's not really a lot of pressure. If it's something bigger, we just reality shift it. So that worked out pretty well. Opponent sunk all his mana into that. And now we get dig through time, which I think we will probably just take the opportunity to do. Although I'll gladly just attack first. Presumably it's just a random manifest, we don't know. Now, I'm not sure what the right play is here. We can either morph this guy, leaves it a little vulnerable, still cost us 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess if we play this face down this turn, we can turn it face up and cast dig. fairly stabilized now, although our opponent is holding a handful of cards. At least one we think is 2/5 reach guy. I'm not sure what the other 4 are. Crux of Fate. I think I'm okay with that. It's not good. Jeskai Infiltrator is definitely a good follow-up to yield Crux of Fate. So what can we do? I can cast Hooting Mandrills and Hunt the Weak, I think. So that seems like an easy call. And we'll get Rugged Highlands out there so we can sack our Teamer banner. Pretty good comeback from that Crux of Fate turn. Our opponent only 2-for-1'd us. Now we have a threat that our opponent has to deal with. Not sure if we'll be able to. Shifting Loyalties, huh? Okay. I think we are unfortunately out of bounce spells. Although we do still have our Prowess guy. So we're probably just going to take 5 from our opponent this turn. I wonder if he'll keep in Shifting Loyalties after sideboard. He doesn't really have a ton of ways to take advantage of it. He has 2 Sultai Emissaries, which makes me think he must have the Merciless Executioner. I don't know what he's trading off. I guess just a random 2/2 Manifest guy is what he's looking to trade with Shifting Loyalties. We might want Counterspell for that and Crux of Fate. And we're just gonna get hit in the face for now. This would only save us 2 damage this turn too. If we can flip it up, it will save 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't do both, huh? So that was a pretty bad turn for us. We probably should have left this guy back. But yeah, even with us playing a land this turn, we can't do both. So we're just gonna have to let that die. And we're kind of out of options here. Opponent most likely is just going to kill us. Yeah, Force Away is pretty good. I guess shifting loyalties goes okay with force away. He can just take it back. We have to block here to prevent lethal. Dousing Gloom will just kill us. So how good is Winter Flame? Not great. Takes out Sultai Emissary. Winter Flame taps something down, but Winter Flame very possibly a cut here. Probably in favor of Rakshasa's Disdain. Act of Treason seems like a reasonable finisher for us. This guy was fine. Reality Shift was quite good. Force Away is quite good. Naturalize we thought about, but I don't think I like it. Longshot Squad I think might just be better than Vault Breaker in this matchup. Don't think I'm making any other changes here. Hunt the Week was good, but I don't know. He does have Force Away, which actually makes it a lot worse. We just didn't happen to run into it last game, but it's a thing. We'll try this. Opponent did have to have some pretty clutch plays to beat us there. This is a bad hand, but we're going to have to keep it. It's just a little threat light. And if we have 5 lands, we'd at least like to see all 3 of our colors. So that we don't have something like this happen where we just draw a Bloodfire Expert we can't cast. But we can curve out here for a couple turns. See what our opponent has. Just plain old Skull Hunter. That works well for us. Opponent might not have realized I came into play tapped, I'm not sure. Just establish our board for now. Probably eat something with Hunt the Week this turn. So I can't Hunt the Weak and Force Away. I'm inclined to just kill the Sultai Flare. Yeah, I think we do this while we can. Before any of our opponents' trickier plays. That's fine. A little bit of trouble here. Opponent milled a Bellowing Satyr Brute, which we like to see. Interesting choice. Which I don't think I agree with, but opponent trying to set something up here. Like, I'm looking for the shifting loyalties here. Yeah, that's perfect. Because I will just take this back. Just punch through some damage. I'd rather do that than play out our long shot squad, because our opponent does have Crux of Fate in his deck, which now I'm wondering, do I play long shot squad here? I think we have to. We really don't want to let this game just grind to a halt. Either he has it or he doesn't. Okay. So he's having to cast Bitter Revelation here. Go to 7. Possibly he finds Crux of Fate with it, but we can get in for a bunch next turn. And I think we can draw a couple cards that just win us the game, so let's see what opponent comes up with. He does have Force Away in his deck, so there's a good chance something's just getting bounced here. That's fine by us. We're not going to play out Snowhorn Rider. It's too big of a blowout if he casts Crux of Fate. If he needs to spend 7 mana this turn to cast Crux of Fate, then we follow it up with Snowhorn Rider. That's not looking too bad for us. Dead Drop is probably in play. Woolly Loxodon is not the worst. He can't attack with it yet. Any reason to pop this right now? I don't think so. Okay. So hope there's no counterspell here. This gives us a clock. We can't do anything else this turn, although I'm going to keep this forest just in case of another discard spell. It's possible we're going to want that extra mana on the board. So, Hooting Mandrill, Savage Punch. And we're going to give that a try. We're in pretty good shape here. 2 good follow-ups if he does manage to wipe our board. Otherwise he's dead in the air. Also possibly dead to trample. We know he has a Woolly Loxodon, so he does have the Crux of Fate. And presumably a Woolly Loxodon. I think we just go Morph Morph. Only playing one makes it an obvious target for him. If we play both and he can kill one, so he could have Douse and Gloom. Okay, so we just win. This was an interesting game. I don't think there's anything that flips up that... Oh, Ice Feather Aven. Okay. Or 1,000 Winds, although I think he's a mana short of that. That was interesting. So our opponent does not have much flying. Hunt the Weak has been good for us, but I still don't really want to go all in with another one. Active Treason I still think is good, but I just don't see the spot for it. We definitely want our flyer here. Jeskai Sage is one of our weaker cards, but it does, you know, it does have value. Like I could be convinced that Jeskai Sage and Frostwalker. I don't know what happens if he casts Shifting Loyalty and we kill a creature in response. What happens then? That could be an argument for Winterflame. Or if he just gets the creature then. Opponent is not really doing anything fast, so Jeskai Sage loses some value. Or Vault Breaker. Vault Breaker is probably just going to be better than Jeskai Sage most of the time for us. I think that's true. And Winterflame, I just don't see what I'm taking out for it. Rakshasa's Disdain is certainly an option, but I think in both of the last two games, this would have been a good card to have in our hand. Both of them came down to an important Crux of Fate. So we'll pass on Winterflame for now. The card is really good when it's good and just okay when it's not. All blue mana isn't what we want to see here, but we do have 2-3 drops we can cast off of it, so, and one of our better cards. So we'll just keep, there's the banner to help us out eventually. And of course we just drew another island. Opponent missed a land drop there. Not sure what's going on. And a tap land. So definitely gonna play land this turn. If I play Temur Banner, I can't do anything else. I attack for 3. If I play Glacial Stalker, then next turn I can go Temur Banner into Alpine Grizzly and presumably still attack with Glacial Stalker. So I think that's our play. Usually I wait till after attacking to play a creature, but in this case it shouldn't matter. Opponent could have Force Away up, but I don't think he's going to change his decision based on our play there. I think I'm kind of okay if opponent just wants to trade here. Wow, and he traded the Sagu Archer. I think that was plenty fair trade. So any green or red mana gets us a Bear's Companion. This going to the graveyard isn't terrible for us. And we also have a play to just flip up Glacial Stalker next turn. Looks like our opponent's having mana issues, and if that's the case, we can just run him over pretty quickly here. Any of our fight spells would just be a blowout here. I'll flip this up to eat a guy, but I don't want to trade. I really want to cast Sage Eye Avengers, which could just end this game. Opponent might make us discard our hand here, but really considering our board state, that's fine. Some consideration that we maybe kept one of these islands just so we could save Bear's Companion. Certainly something I'll keep in mind if I draw another land. We can actually cast that too. So that was the Abomination. Opponent's just going to manifest a guy. That's it. I kind of want to keep Dig up here just in case our opponent wants to make us discard. Rather than We just lose a lot of value if we flip up the morph and then we have to discard 2 to Rakshasa the Secret. That would be a pretty aggressive line from our opponent if that was his plan. Yeah, I can't do much about that. But really, that is not going to help our opponent here. Take Savage Punch and a Forest, I think. Feels weird to put all these creatures behind, but I think we just win the game right here, so. Yo, I mean, our opponent missed a couple land drops to make it possible, but Seijai Avengers, it's a pretty good card once you get it on the board. If you're even slightly ahead, it's pretty much game over. So that's round 1. I'll be back in a few minutes for round 2.